am Perry Miles. Joining alongside me is Scott Green, the number 2 team CW Post. But the one thing we didn't mention about the head coaching matchup, Steve Hain, veteran of Dowling College, and Tim Cluess, one of the best that Long Island has to offer.
Tim Cluess has proved at every level that he's coached at. St. Mary's High School, state championship after state championship. He's coached some tremendous players. Danny Green at North Carolina, potential NBA player. He went to Suffolk Community College, revamped that entire program, made them a junior college national champion, and now making the LIU CW Post number 2 in the country on the map.
And CW Post is about to tip off against Dowling. Aliun Jai taking on Lyndon Daniel for the tip-off as we're about to get set. But Tim Cluess, as the tip-off is controlled, as Jonathan Schmidt leads up a quick fast break by Burks, and then he stops on the long one in here, baseline back to sit out to Nicholas Carter. We're underway from Recreation Hall in St. John's University. Carter dribbles in, leaves it off for Burks. Burks goes to the key area and then leaves it off for Schmidt. For Nicholas Carter. Carter backs it off to the left wing for Burks. Burks spinning off with 8 to go on the timer. Burks drives in, flips it with the right hand, wild shot, no good, rebound Jai. And it goes out of bounds, actually off the big man for Dowling.
And that's a great rebound by Jai, and he has to establish his position in the paint early on.
Inbound, the basketball is supposed to shot in the key, no good, actually from the far side of the wing, and last touched by CW Post. So a couple of possessions, but no basket for the Pioneers. Nandon with the basketball past the timeline. A little bit of a press to start out. Nandon to Lands. Lands past the timeline, crosses to Nandon. Nandon dribbling with his right. Going to his right, setting screens, Jai back outside. The three-pointer from Lowe is good!
And Josh Lowe is picking up where he left off against Adelphi. He's got to be that outside threat.
Josh Lowe from downtown and quickly the other way. The bank shot is good from Nicholas Carter.
And he's the guy you got to stop penetration. He can slice, he can dice, he gets inside the defense, and he's a scorer.
Now the other way, Keith Nandon. Beautiful transition play from CW Post after Dowling responded. Nandon at the left sideline, dribbling to the top of the key, bounces it into Lands. Lands with the flip shot, no good, off the backboard, and the loose ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Dowling College.
And you know, on that possession, they got a good look. They just got to continue to be patient, look for some good shots, and try to take Post out of their game.
Schmidt trying to elude David Seeger's pressure, gets it back from Spann. Schmidt outside Burks. Now to Spann, back to Burks. Burks in the lane, back outside Schmidt. Faking the three, dribbling inside, uses his body, finger rolls it up, but before the shot, a foul was called. So no basket for Schmidt, but he gets a foul assessed.
I'll tell you, it's hard to believe. Schmidt's a senior already, 4 years. He was like an 8-time Rookie of the Week. He's a terrific player that knows how to get it done on the court.
Schmidt, the second leading scorer on this CW Post club, as the inbound gets to Burks. Burks crossing over, going to the elbow, handing it off at the top of the key. Dribble drive by Carter. Inside, Lyndon Daniel hits the shot, plus the foul. He'll have a chance for a three-point play.
I'll tell you, Lyndon Daniel, big, strong guy that knows how to finish. Tough job for Jai tonight. He's going to have to prevent him from getting the basketball. Once he gets it, he's going to be tough to stop.
Lyndon Daniel is a beast inside. He is 6 foot 8 inches tall forward at St. George's Grenada, but he looked like Dennis Rodman on that play, rebounding the basketball, and now he converts the three-point play.
Oh, very strong player. That's going to be a tough task for Aliun Jai tonight.
Probably the toughest task of the year as Lands heads it to Nandon. Nandon looking and surveying the court along the far sideline. Stops the dribble, hands it to Seegers, crosses to Lands. Lands finds Seegers. Seegers taking the screen from Jai. Instead crosses to the right, away from the screen. Flips it up with the right hand, no good, but he'll go to the line for 2.
And that's good for Dowling to be able to get to the basket. In fact, they didn't call a foul. They didn't call a foul.
It's an offensive foul on the push.
We got to keep David Seegers into the game. He can't get frustrated. He understands that he's not the only one out there that has to score.
Seegers now defending Jonathan Schmidt. Schmidt crosses to Spann, back to Schmidt. One dribble, pass from 3, it's an air ball, and the ball lands out of bounds.
And, that was a break. He is a 32% three-point shooter. He's got 24-75 on the season, who can knock it down.
This CW Post three-point shooting is impeccable and has been impeccable this season. Nandin along the far side hits the Seegers on the curl. Back to Lands along the left wing side. Now to Nandin at the near side. Back outside. A wide open 3 from Lowe is no good. The rebound Lands strung up. Shot blocked, but he was hacked on the way up. And there is a stoppage of play, not only by the foul, but maybe the referee wanted to control some of the action.
Absolutely. That was a great shot right there and a great rebound by Leonard Lands to recognize that the ball shot from the left side, most likely the rebound's coming to the right side.
Lands heading to the charity stripe to shoot 2 free throws for the season. 64% for Lands, who's slowly but surely worked his way into the starting lineup. Lands' free throw is no good off the back of the rim. It is a packed house in Recreation Hall, Oakdale, New York, St. John's University. Even though behind the baskets are packed, almost like a Division I college basketball game as the free throw goes down.
Oh, and this is a great atmosphere for college basketball, and most people realize that this is Division II basketball at its best, and it's right here on Long Island.
Lands' free throw cuts the lead to 1 as coming to the front court is Burks driving the lane, and he gets fouled on his way to the hoop.
Look for today, a lot of free throw shooting. A lot of these guys like to take the ball to the basket, which is going to result in a lot of fouls.
Josh Lowe commits the personal foul as heading to the line is Burks. Burks this season shooting at 73%, and he converts the first one as another substitution. Quick sub as Lowe just comes out of the game. I believe he has 2 fouls already. Not a good sign for Dowling.
And Burks is like the unsung hero here on the CW Post team. He's not the Nick Carter attention. He doesn't get the Span attention or the Schmidt attention. He's the guy that does a lot that no one realizes.
Seegers gets all the attention. He crosses the court. Fires a quick one pass, and it's a 3. It's good. Beautiful shot from Sean Smith.
And we said in the early telecast that he's got to get involved in the offense early for Dowling to be successful.
Schmidt outside for Carter. Dribble drive to the sideline. Loses control of it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Post.
That's a great defensive stop there, and here comes Dowling.
Through the first 3 minutes and 19 seconds.
Steve Haynes got to be very happy with the way the game's starting out through the first 3.5 minutes.
Tie ball game at 7 apiece as Nandin rushes up. Nandin past the timeline, crosses over, uses the jive screen, fends off, passes to the left for Smith. Smith dribbles left to the baseline, flips over with the right hand shot, no good. Rebound lands inside, battling with it, and there's a tie-up. The possession arrow heads back to right, it actually stays this way to Dowling College.
And you know what? And it's all because of Leonard Lands. Leonard Lands is mixing it up. He's not a big guy, and he's mixing it up with the big guys.
Nandin fires back outside to Lands. Now to Smith on the right side. Chest pass to Seegers. Seegers dribbles left, now right, goes to the near sideline. Takes the screen from Jai, back outside Nandin, fakes the 3, Seegers fakes another 3, then pulls off for 2, and banks the shot home!
And that's the patience Dowling's been waiting on. David Seegers takes his time, gets to the outside, takes it right to the basket.
And a quick substitution coming in. CW Post appears to be getting a substitution in the next stoppage as Schmidt has the basketball for Post. Going past the timeline, crossing over at the top of the key, dribbling left, finding the curl on the right, and the pass is taken away by Smith. Smith the other way, back to Nandin, fakes the 3, instead goes inside for Jai, the shot is no good, and fell to the ground. Back the other way comes Carter. Nicholas Carter past the timeline, and he regroups. Chest pass to Burks. Burks cross going to the sideline, bounce feed outside, and he fell to the ground, but he was bumped by Nandin.
And Dowling's doing a great job not allowing CW Post to set up in an offense, making them do things that they don't want to do, driving the ball on the baseline, trying to force up some bad shots. So far, Dowling cannot be upset with the way things are going.
Roberto Macklin checks in for Lyndon Daniel as the ball is inbounded by CW Post. right to Schmidt outside. Schmidt along the far sideline, dribbles baseline, tries to get it in. His pass deflected away by Lowe and taken by Nandon. Nandon, he loses the defender. Back outside to Smith. He fakes the shot, goes back to Nandon. Nandon dribbles to the foul line, pulls it inside, but his pass is stolen away by Carter. Back to Schmidt. Schmidt in transition, puts it up and banks it home.
Jonathan Schmidt plays the great defense. He gets the ball out. And you watch a guy like Schmidt, he does all the little tangibles that make you a great player.
It's a tie ball game at 9. A little bit more than 5 minutes gone by in the opening half. The number 2 team in Division II basketball taking on Dowling College. Nandon outside, and the pass is actually pass was stripped away and back the other way, and the easy 2 on the layup by Kevin Spann.
Can't let CW Post get out in the open floor on their fast break. Momentum starts to build on fast break points.
11-9 in favor of CW Post. Nandon trying to get by Kevin Spann and finally crosses the front court. One bounce to Smith. Sean Smith waiting for the screen from Lowe. Gets it, pulls up from 20. It's good!
We told you earlier, Sean Smith's got to get his touches. He's got to get his looks. He's got to get his shots off. If he does, Dowling can stay in this game.
And Dowling has stayed in this game for the first 5+ minutes as Smith goes inside, puts up a wild shot, and goes long. The rebound taken by Seegers. Seegers crossing the front court, looking, dribbling in, and he's fouled as he went to the hoop.
And you know, it's a great move. It's testing out the CW Post defense, trying to force them to defend you. And if you can't, then I'm going to foul you. And that's what Dowling wants.
Substitution taking place. Keith Nandon out of the ball game.
And I believe Merchant just
John Merchant checks into the game. As here's Smith along the left wing side, back to Merchant at the top of the key. Right wing side for Lands. Lands dribbles to the foul line, hands it off to Smith. Back outside Lands, wide open 3, no good, off the side of the rim. The rebound taken by Schmidt. Schmidt outlets for Carter, he's inside, the layup no good, and the rebound taken by Dowling as Lands makes sure that he doesn't travel with the basketball. In the backcourt.
They're really preventing them from trying to get into the open floor, and you got to stop Post.
Seegers spins along the near side, draws the double, bounces to Lance, inside, the shot into the paint, no good, as Elon Howard went to the hoop, and there was a blocking foul on the play.
And that was a well-executed play. They had the patience, they looked for the big guy cut in the middle, and there he gets fouled.
Lyndon Daniel is about to check right back into the game. 5 team fouls for Dowling College, 3 for CW Post, but on this possession it does not matter because Elon Howard's heading to the line for 2. Free throw goes down. Elon Howard this season only 6 of 21, so make that 7 of 22 from the free throw line.
Not a terrific free throw shooter, but you know what? When you make them here, people forget about your shooting percentage when you make them in the clutch.
That's what they say about Shaquille O'Neal, too. Kenny Burks comes out of the game as the shot is no good. He was replaced by Gilbert Montalvo as the second shot went right to CW Post. Montalvo outside to the right wing for Carter, pulls up for 3, and it's short. Rebound taken by Smith. Outlets to Seegers. Seegers dribbles with his left, goes to the right wing side, instead fires to Merchant. Back outside Seegers. He's wide open, but it's off the other side of the rim. And out of bounds.
Yeah, he was pressing a little bit on that shot. He's looking at people coming into his face. He's trying to get a good shot off. He's got to have a little more patience.
12-11 in favor of Dowling College as the pressure is eluded. Carter, cross court to Schmidt. Back outside along the near sideline, open 3 is no good, but the loose ball taken by Carter. Jump stop, blocked by Howard, out of bounds, last touch by the big man.
And they're starting to get a little frustrated. They're throwing up some quick shots. They're keeping Nick Carter out of his game. They're not giving up an easy 3, and they're saying, you want to come into the paint? Be prepared, I'm taking you out.
Nandon is right back in, replacing Seeger, so quick substitutions by Steve Hayne, trying to keep his players fresh. Montalvo leads Spann, dribbles to the near baseline, reverse layup is no good. He missed it, and the ball taken by Smith. Smith in the front court, dribbling to his right from the left wing, going to the right elbow, shot no good, and it's taken back by Lyndon Daniel. Leads Schmidt. Schmidt, bounce feed, beautiful layup on the pass by Span.
And they execute the break to perfection. 3-on-1. Schmidt has the patience. A little dump down for his buddy there.
Nandon bounces outside for B.J. Warrington, who just showed up. Now Nandon pulls up for three, rolls around the rim. The loose ball taken by Schmidt. Schmidt, ball poked away, out of bounds, last touched by Dowling. So almost incredible defense on that possession leading to the turnover, but instead it scurries out of bounds.
Dowling needs to continue on scoring on the offensive end. Keep giving up, because a team like a Post will start chopping away little by little, and before you know it, it's a 12-point lead to a 20-point lead.
Howard out. Jai in. Seegers into the ball game as well for Dowling College, replacing Leonard Land. So quick substitutions by Coach Steve Hain.
And he's keeping his guys fresh at all time.
Montalvo leads Kevin Span, dribbles across the lane, finger roll, good!
And they can hurt you in every direction. They get to the basket, they can shoot the rock, and you got to start cutting that down.
David Seegers with the basketball. His team trails by 3. Seegers dribbling right, going to the top of the key now, into the elbow, back outside, wide open 3, no good. The shots keep on going amiss for Dowling College.
And that's the shot they wanted. They just needed to knock that down.
Nick Carter, outside Schmidt, open, good! 3-pointer from Jonathan Schmidt. Timeout on the floor. 6-point lead for CW Post with 11:11 remaining in the opening half on ECCSports.tv. Welcome back to St. John's University campus in Oakdale, New York. I am Perry Miles, joined alongside by Scott Green. Scott, this CW Post team has been one of the most impressive teams in college basketball, number 2 team in the land. Why do you think they've been so good?
Well, their defense has been very good thus far. Dowling hasn't been shooting the ball particularly well. They're shooting 30% on 4 for 13 shooting. They need to start picking that up if they're going to compete with the big guys.
Dowling trying to establish themselves offensively as Nandon hits Seegers at the top of the key. Back to Nandon, who regroups. Nandon looking, being defended by Montalvo as he fires a chest pass to Seegers. Waving off the screen, Seegers from Aliun Jai back to lands, rounds it to Nandon with 6 on the timer. Nandon stops his dribble, back outside, lands with 3 to go. With 2 to go, he feeds inside, and the shot is no good from Jai, but before that, he traveled with the basketball.
Yeah, Dowling's trying to be patient as much as they can, but they got to make sure they get a good shot off.
This balanced scoring attack from CW Post also renowned 5 players in double figures, each of them on the scoreboard today. With the basketball, Nick Carter, outside Montalvo, pulls up for 3, shot off the rim twice, and it rolls out. The rebound taken by Lands as he hands it off to Seegers. Seegers, wide open 3, no good, and it's taken back by Lyndon Daniel. Daniel to Carter. Carter Montalvo pulls up from 2, and he nails it.
We said in the beginning of the game, everyone on Dowling is going to have to crash the boards. You got one person underneath. If you're below that foul line, you got to be crashing the boards, especially against a team a lot bigger than you are.
Seegers outside, the dribble drive penetration. Shot from Lands is blocked. Swatted away by Daniel. Back the other way, Schmidt. Schmidt behind the back dribble, goes to Carter, but his pass taken away by Lands. Lands leads Seegers. Seegers in the lane, left-handed layup is good.
And that's exactly what Dowling needed. They need to start building now. They need a defensive stop.
Lead's been cut to a half dozen, but back the other way, CW Post, and apparently stepping on the end line was Kevin Span.
And that's what Dowling needs to do. They need to play this a game of possessions because before you know it, CW Post is such a prolific scoring team that they could score, and before you know it, it's a 15-point game.
Howard replaces Jai in the rotation as the ball lands right to Nandin. Nandin trying to go past the timeline, does so, being defended by Montalvo. Nandin uses the screen, pulls up for three, no good. Rebound, attempted dunk is no good, and the loose ball is taken back by Post. Montalvo with it. Montalvo hurrying the pace up, finds Jonathan Schmidt, his shot no good from three-point land. The rebound taken by Post. Montalvo on another three, it's good!
They got to start closing out on the shooters.
Montalvo hits one from downtown. It's his second three-pointer in as many minutes, and it's quickly a 9-point lead. Nandin dribbling in, fires outside for Merchant. Merchant inside, trying to feed low, and his pass taken away by Daniel. Daniel for Montalvo. Montalvo for Schmidt. Schmidt dribbling to the elbow, inside, using his body, and was fouled as he went to the hoop.
They're doing a great job at getting to the basket and forcing fouls.
CW Post is inflicting its pain on Dowling College right now. It's a 9-point lead with 8:31 remaining in the opening half as Jonathan Schmidt heads to the free throw line. His first free throw is good. Knocks it down calmly. Jonathan Schmidt is a 72% free throw shooter. As there's another substitution, Nicholas Carter exits the ball game for CW Post, replaced by Kevin Spann. Second one, no good, but Montalvo hustles, or at least out-hustled the rebounder and got it back for CW Post. The shot inside is off the side of the backboard, and the loose ball taken by Elon Howard. Seegers in the front court as he took the basketball and it's taken right back by Spann. Burks loses the basketball, and it's a scurry on the floor taken by Schmidt. Schmidt of CW Post, Alex Montalvo. Montalvo outside for Burks. He fakes the three, fakes the jump stop, and it's good.
And you can't give a team like CW Post that many opportunities, whether it's off a turnover or a second chance off a rebound, or they will hurt you.
Timeout on the floor. CW Post lead has escalated to 12, 26-14, with 8 minutes left in the first half. Welcome back to St. John's University campus in Oakdale, New York, Recreation Hall, the site. I am Perry Miles, joined by Scott Green. CW Post has already opened up a 12-point lead.
Yeah, they're starting to get their game on the way they want to play the game, and they're starting to dictate the shots that are being taken on both sides of the court.
Seems like Post is running a D'Antoni offense, and an errant pass from Nandin intended for low goes out of bounds.
Yeah, you could start to see a little bit of dejection in the Dowling faces. You know, you have this momentum, the adrenaline is flowing before the game, and now it's starting to settle in.
And certainly CW Post offense is beginning to settle in as well. CW Post, Montalvo, cross-court feed for Spann, pull up three, no good, and the rebound taken and saved out of bounds. It wasn't saved. It went off of Elon Howard and touched the end line.
Yeah, it was good hustle on Elon to maintain the ball.
7:34 remains first half. Montalvo gets the inbound. Outlets to Kenny Burks, who regroups. Burks at the top of the key. Dribbling left now, crossing to his right, getting to the elbow. Feeds it outside Schmidt. Spins in the lane. Stops his dribble. finds Burks outside. Burks going to the far lane, and his intended pass is taken away by Seegers. Dribbles in the lane, puts up with the right hand, and it's in.
And that was a great defensive stop on Dowling. Now they need to try to build on that.
Schmidt rushing the other way, finding Burks along the far side, back to Schmidt. Schmidt dribbling to the foul line for Montalvo. Pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound taken by Smith. Smith crossing over to the left, back outside Seegers. For Lowe, now to Seegers. Seegers dribbling to the right wing side, crossing behind his back, defending the double team. Seegers lobs it inside. It was deflected out of bounds. Last touch by CW Post.
Well, he was trying to hit the cutter, cutting down the baseline, and he wasn't there. Fortunately, they got the ball back.
Dowling's defense has certainly settled down within the last couple of minutes since the timeout taken by Coach Hain and Dowling College, but the offense definitely has to step up.
It still becomes so with the offense, so you got to be able to put the ball into the basket.
Smith crosses over with 7 to go on the timer, pulls up from the free throw line, long. Rebound taken by the newcomer, James Chana, who just checked in. Chana is 6'7" out of the Cameroon. Smith pulls up and rattles one home from downtown.
Yeah, got to close out on the three-point shooters. They're shooting almost 50% from the three-point range on the season.
And it's back up to a baker's dozen lead for CW Post at 13. Nandon pressured by Montalvo. Crosses over, bounces inside, the back in, the shot by Lowe, rolls around the rim and heads out. The loose ball taken by CW Post as driving in the lane, Kenny Burks. He outlets it for 3, no good from the shot of Spann as Nandon takes the ball right back. Nandon pursued. Nandon gets to the painted area and loses possession of the ball. Outlet it to Schmidt. Schmidt goes in the lane, drives in, shot blocked, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Smith.
I'll tell you, Dowling College, they run their offense, they get a shot off, and it's one and done. There's no offensive rebounding on the offensive end. They've got to crash the boards.
And more substitutions coming from Dowling as Merchant enters the game for Dowling College along with Leonard Lands as the ball inbounded to Chana. Chana inside Carter, now outside. Three-pointer from the far sideline, no good as Kenny Burks missed it, and the loose ball goes against CW Post as the foul was committed.
And it's just becoming a little bit of frustration here on the Dowling defense.
CW Post has only allowed 16 points in the first 14-42 of the contest. Nandon at the top of the key, crossing the timeline. Nandon now at the far side, dribbling to his left. Chest pass lands, finds Merchant, pulls up for 2, and it's off the mark. The rebound, Seegers is bumped underneath, and there's a foul against Chana on the push.
And it was a little bit of a delayed foul, too. We didn't think they were going to get the call on that, but a lot of contact was drawn.
Seegers heading to the charity stripe. Appears to be it's either the 7th team foul or it's the shooting foul situation for Seegers. Seegers first one on the way. It's good. David Seegers this season, one of the better, well, not one of the better free throw shooters, 71%, but quality free throw shooter at the line. Respectable. Second one, no good. Side rim, and it's taken back by Chana. Chana to the left wing side for Spann, who regathers. 4:56 remaining in the opening half. The lead is a dozen for CW Post, the number 2 team in the country at St. John's University in Recreation Hall. The dribble drive inside, flip in the lane, no good. Loose ball shot, no good. But there's a foul as Chana grabbed 2 offensive rebounds.
Well, you know, when you're that big of a guy and you're trying to rebound over him, you're going to foul. Either don't let him get the ball or you're going to foul him and make sure he doesn't make the three-point play.
Chana goes to the charity stripe to shoot 2. Chana is their other top player, or at least tree in there. He's one of their tallest players at 6'7". First free throw goes down. It's a swish.
And he went to high school and right nearby at Our Savior New America.
He was 6 of 14 heading into that free throw, make that 7 of 15 now, and 8 of 16. So smooth stroke in spite of the number, what the numbers indicated.
Yep.
14-point lead for CW Post. Nandon for Dowling College at the half-court line. Dribbles left, bounces to the left wing side for Merchant. Merchant eludes the defender, outlets to Nandon. Nandon crosses over to the right, spins in the lane, flips it up with the right hand, and it goes in!
Great penetration on them. Good patience on Dowling's defense. They need to get something going in the last 4 minutes of the first half.
And Carter quickly hurries it up, but unfortunately for Post, they travel with the basketball on the dribble drive and penetration.
This is what Dowling needs to take advantage of every turnover.
CW Post is going to look to push it every time out, so Dowling needs to get back on defense. Nandon along the far side of the court, dribbling to the left side as he's being defended by Montalvo. Here's Nandon. Chest pass outside. Three-point attempt. It's good!
There we go. That's what you need to do. Get him involved in the offense.
Three-pointer from John Merchant. And the lead's been cut to single digits. Schmidt dribbles to the left wing side, stops at the elbow, and then regathers as he fires a chest pass to Carter. Carter is at the cross, fires to the near sideline for Burks. Inside Schmidt, pulls up, gets the basket, plus the foul as he made a beautiful give and go.
Yeah, it was a great cut to the basket, but you got to front. You got to get around him on that defensive side. So that means you got to work extra hard to bump a cutter, get around the cutter, or get a hand in the passing lane.
He's using his veteran leadership to maneuver his way to the basket, using his body to shield off the defender. I'm sure you teach that when you were a head coach, or at least an assistant coach.
At least we try. We could teach so much to get the kids to do what you want them to do.
Schmidt hits the free throw. The lead is back up to 12. Seegers handling the basketball now for Dowling College is being defended by Burks. Taking the screen from Merchant, heads off to Lance. Now to Nandon. Nandon dribbles to the right wing side. Instead, flips it up with the left hand and banks it home. Beautiful shot.
And now Dowling's starting to get more of a flow of an offense going. They're not relying on the three-point shot as much, and they're getting good looks.
Schmidt hands it off to Montalvo in the front court. He loses it out of bounds, but the referees say it was last touched by a Dowling hand. And two substitutions as Sean Smith re-enters. He replaces Leonard Lands, and Montalvo takes a breather. CW Post inbounding from behind the basket. The inbound goes to Burks. Burks dribbles baseline. One bounce way outside. The round goes to Carter. Carter to Schmidt. Schmidt waits and reassigns, or at least realigns the offense. Schmidt, dribble drive in the paint, puts over the right hand, and he puts it in.
Jonathan Schmidt, he knows how to slice and get inside. He's a terrific slasher, besides a great passer.
Schmidt has not only used his body, but his acceleration to maneuver past the Dowling defense. 12-point lead for CW Post. Back along the outside is Merchant. Merchant, beautiful chest pass inside, back outside Seegers. Wide open three, short. And they might have passed up an opportunity, but the pass from CW Post is intercepted by Merchant. Pardon me, by Smith. Back outside to Nandon. Nandon at the top of the key. Fires alongside. The three-pointer is off the mark as Smith took the shot, and the loose ball taken back by CW Post as we're rounding down to 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Burks outside Schmidt. Schmidt dribbling to the left at the top of the key. One bounce outside. Dribble drive around the perimeter to Burks. Burks pulls up from the free throw line on the fadeaway, no good. The rebound tapped out and saved by CW Post as it's grabbed by Burks. Burks dribbling far baseline, cross-court feed, almost taken away, and there's a loose ball on the floor, scrum, and it's going to be a tie-up as several players were on the floor scurrying for the basketball.
It looked like they ran the ball up the middle and the whole front line converged. They just came back, going back to the huddle.
It looked like 3 separate fumbles in a football game. No one could get their hands on the basketball, and as a result, the possession arrow goes to CW Post on the tie-up. Schmidt to Montalvo, who just checks in once again. Montalvo crossing over behind his back against Nandon, flips it to Burks. Burks dribbling right into the lane, flips over with the right hand, but he's dumped to the deck as he was fouled on his way to the rim.
Well, Post has been very successful today, getting to the basket, getting into the lane, getting up a good shot.
It goes against Aliun Jai as the couple of free throws are coming up for CW Post. Burks to the line. He's 2 of 2 today from the charity stripe. First free throw on the way, and it's good. So Burks converts his 3rd free throw of the contest, and he along with Jonathan Schmidt have been a nightmare for the Dowling defense in the first half.
Yep. And Josh Lowe comes back into the game. They're trying to get the ball into his hands a little bit more. They've had to make the adjustment with Josh Lowe because he's not exquisitely quick, so therefore on the defensive end they lose a little bit.
CW Post had scored 100 points in 3 consecutive games, at least 100 points. Dowling's defense has been better than the defenses presented in the previous 3 games. But CW Post's defense has come to play today as the second free throw is knocked down. 38-24, 1:21 remaining in the opening half. Seegers leaves it for Nandon, who hurries past the timeline along the far side of the court. Nandon being defended by Montalvo. Nandon bounces it inside to Lowe. Lowe, hop step, shot no good. The rebound is a loose ball foul against Dowling College. And I believe there are free throws, or at least one free throw coming up for CW Post as Dowling is in the 1-on-1 situation.
And they got Aliun Jai trying to go over the top. Kind of a late call, very questionable.
Dowling replaces Aliun Jai in the lineup. And coming to the free throw line is Chana, who converted his first 2 free throws of the game, as I had previously mentioned, 6 of 14 from the line, but now 3 of 3 on the game, so he has a mark above 50% from the charity stripe. He must have been working on his free throws a lot.
He's got a nice soft touch for a big guy.
Chana's second free throw on the way. It's up, and it's good. So Chana 4 of 4 from the line. CW Post leaving no ends unturned. Playing solid basketball in the first half. It's a 16-point lead as Nandon, trying to elude Montalvo, gets to the timeline and past it. Here's Nandon in the lane, inside, the shot in the lane is good on the pass off to Lowe. Josh Lowe with the beautiful finish with 41 seconds remaining on the game clock. A 10-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Montalvo outside Schmidt, rolls around the screens, instead dribbles to the left wing side. Trying to get to Chana, loses his balance, and it's taken back by Nandon with a chance to cut it to a 12 or an 11-point lead. Nandon outside, the three-pointer shot no good, but being fouled with Sean Smith on the perimeter. He'll have a chance for 3 free throws.
It's a great opportunity right there to get 3 without the clock ticking in down. Excellent free throw shooter.
Sean Smith heads to the free throw line. And this season, Smith is 77%. It is the 3rd best free throw shooter on the team behind B.J. Warrington, who we haven't seen much of today, and Keith Nandon, who doesn't get to the free throw line a whole lot as the first one goes down. 19.6 left to go on the clock. 40-27 in favor of CW Post, the number 2 team in the country. Second one on the way goes. Couple substitutions as Kevin Spann wants to check in, but he cannot. And the substitution, I believe, was Josh Lowe out of the game for Aliun Jai. And the third one goes down. So 3 free throws converted by Dowling College. Actually, it was Alon Howard back into the game, replacing Josh Lowe. 19 seconds remaining, 40-29. CW Post Post can hold for the final shot. Span to the right wing side for Carter with 8 seconds. He dribbles into the lane. Bank shot is good with 4 seconds remaining. The inbound attempted by Lowe, and they won't get a shot off as time expires in the first half. 42-29 in favor of CW Post ahead of Dowling College at halftime. What are your thoughts about the first half?
Well, I think right now Post has set the tempo of the game. They got out in the open floor. They were able to get to the basket, able to penetrate. They were shooting the three-pointer exceptionally well. Dowling did not shoot well in the first half from the field goals. They got out of sequence. Their defense broke down on occasion. However, you're playing the number 2 team in the country, and you're still only down 13 points.
You're down 13 points. You held CW Post to 42 points in the first half. I think that's one positive that Coach Hayden has to make clear about this team. The last 3 opponents have given up 100-plus points and only 42. They're on pace for 84. Yes, continue with the defense, get your offense in gear. Maybe you have a chance in the second half to pull off the upset. I'm Perry Miles, joined by Scott Green. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the rest of the analysis of the first half. Stay tuned for more action on ECCSports.tv. Welcome back to St. John's University campus in Oakdale, New York, the home of Dowling Golden Lions basketball, where the home team trails by 13 to the number 2 team in the country. Scott, they're playing like the number 2 team in the country today.
Yeah, they're playing very well. It took them a little while to get off to a start in the beginning. They're shooting the ball exceptionally well. They're shooting 44% from the floor. They're shooting 42% from the floor. But the key is they're knocking down some good shots. They're 11 for 12 from the free throw line. Dowling getting the ball at 35%. That's tough to beat a team when you're shooting like that.
Their defense has also been imposing. Dowling only shooting 36% for the first half, scoring 29 points. Not going to get it done against the number 2 team in the country. You have to look for more scoring.
That's correct. And you look at some of the scores for the first half. You look at a balanced scoring attack. When you talk about Russell Holloway, 14 points. And then you look at your top scorers. Kevin Spann, 6. Nicholas Carter, 3. Those are your 2 top scorers, and you're still up by 13. That's a sign of a great team.
And great teams, it's very hard for great teams to lose, which is why I mentioned before the telecast, if CW Post were to lose to Dowling, it would be a similar upset to the way UConn lost to George Mason only a couple of years ago.
Sure, absolutely. We talk about the size differential. You look at a kid like a Holloway, a 6'6", big, wide body. Very difficult to stop, very difficult to guard. And that's the reason he's off to such a great start today.
And it's no wonder you have Holloway with 14 points, Burks and Spann each with 6 apiece. And it's not only that, they're rebounding the basket. They have 18 rebounds to Dowling's 14. 6 offensive rebounds, giving them additional opportunities to score at the rim. So even if they miss 19 shots during the half, it's more like 15 or 16 shots that they're missing because of those second opportunities.
And one of the big differences, you look at 6 offensive rebounds for CW Post. Dowling is getting very limited opportunities for second and third chances. They're one and done most times down, and that's a big, big difference.
Getting more on the light side of sports, we're seeing a basketball game between kids, 12, 13 years old?
The future of Division II basketball.
The future of Division II basketball. But the future of women's basketball, unfortunately passed away today on a sad note.
That's correct. Kay Yao passed away from cancer. It was a terrible time for women's sports and all sports in the NCAA. And this was equivalent to a Jim Valvano type situation 15 years ago. And I think that today will be looked back at as a great woman who's done so much for the game.
Her, Pat Summitt, just 2 of the people that have been quite influential in the game. Pat Summitt obviously still the head coach at the University of Tennessee, but Yao passed away at the age of 66. She'll be dearly missed anywhere across women's basketball circles, college basketball circles. I'm sure anyone you ask around college basketball, even in the men's game, knows Yao.
Absolutely. She had her impact on a lot of young people, a lot of people that have come through that she's inspired through her life, and even while she was sick with the cancer, she's touched so many different lives.
When you first met her several years back, what was the first question or what was the first comment besides hello, how are you?
Well, the first thing I asked her was, how do you do it for so long? People don't realize that the coaching profession is so difficult. The public only sees the end result on the court. They don't see what goes on a day-to-day basis, the grueling practices, the working with the kids to get through their academics, the being the father or mother figure to these children, and they only see the end result. And to be able to do it every year for so many years, it's just an impressive thing to see.
Well, on the Division II level, I would certainly think, hey, look, we have plenty of people here who value their education, who value their time, and want to make sure of that. And obviously, the crowd is full. They're just watching a very entertaining game of basketball. At the same time, though, at the Division I level, it may not be as emphasized as, let's say, the Division II level, where it doesn't get as much exposure.
Oh, that's absolutely. You don't get as much exposure as you do at the Division I level, but you know what? The kids today, Division II, look at how many kids transfer from Division Is, and it's been a thing for many years now where they say, you know what? Every kid thinks they're a Division I player. Get out and go see a bunch of these games. And I used to tell the parents all the time when I used to recruit, I say, you want to know where your child belongs, especially here on Long Island. Go out to watch a St. John's University game. They get to see what the Big East is like. Go out to Stony Brook University, Manhattan College. Watch what a small or a Hofstra, a smaller Division I team is like. Go out to a Dowling, a CW Post, a New York Tech, see what a Division II school is like. And then go out and watch Old Westbury or Kings Point Academy to see what D3 is all about.
And, of course, in case you have offers from other opportunities, for example, the University of Kansas or some of those opportunities, go check them out as well.
Yep, never doubt that.
When we come back, Scott and I will have the second half. The score right now, 42-29 in favor of the number 2 CW Post Pioneers, ahead of the Dowling Golden Lions. You're watching ECCSports.tv. Welcome back to St. John's University in Oakdale, New York. I am Perry Miles, joined alongside by Scott Green. Scott, what did the head coach, Coach Hayne, tell you during the first half?
Well, he said we got to start defending. We got to start stopping the penetration. They're getting too many easy looks on the inside. We're allowing them to drive into the paint. We're allowing them to get to the basket. We're allowing them to kick out for the three-pointers. We got to get a little more aggressive on the defensive end.
Almost the same speech from Tim Cluis. He said, apply the defensive intensity, continue the defensive intensity from the first half, and continue to make sure that there aren't as many easy baskets for Dowling College.
And you also want to note on the offensive end, they got to do a better job offensive rebounding. They're getting a few good looks. They got to start knocking down, take advantage of the easy opportunities, but they got to get after it on the offensive boards. They're getting too many one-shot out opportunities.
Dowling in the first half was 3 of 11 from downtown, the same number as CW Post, except it seemed for a while that Dowling had very wide open shots. They just they just wouldn't fall.
Yeah, a lot of three-point shots that they didn't take, but they did take some poor shots where they had to force them. You know, the key is Steve Haynes said, hey, we're down 13 points, big crowd, let's come out the second half fired up.
And it appears as if 3 of the 5 Dowling starters, Merchant and Smith, will be in the game for Dowling College, along with 3 of the starters, namely Nandon, Josh Lowe, and David Seeger. Actually, yes, David Seeger. So those 3 and Smith and Merchant in the 5 for Dowling College. Meanwhile, sticking with the same 5 is Coach Cluis. He goes with the starting 5 of Burke, Spann, Schmidt, Nicholas Carter, and Lyndon Daniel as we're underway. Seeger's handling the basketball. Dowling going from left to right this half. Dowling, the dribble drive from the top of the key, stops it and pops it back outside. Smith, Merchant, outside Nandon. Nandon looking, waiting for the cut. Outside Lowe. Lowe fakes the 3, pulls back out for Merchant. Merchant dribbles in the lane, flips it with the right hand. Shot off the mark. Seegers with the rebound, but it didn't hit the rim. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Seegers drives baseline, flips it way back outside. Now the three-point attempt from the left wing is no good. Off the mark from Sean Smith, and Schmidt grabs the rebound. His dribble was taken right back as it went errant off the deflection. The shot in the lane, on the pass, no good, as there was a lot of contact underneath. Back the other way comes Burks. Burks in the lane, shot off the mark, and there's a traveling violation on the play.
And a lot of contact down here on the other side. I tell you, the Dowling bench was not happy with not getting the call. He did get up. Maybe he got in a little bit too late, but there still was a lot of contact drawn there.
First 50 seconds of the game, we've already seen 3 turnovers in the second half. Seegers handling the basketball along the far sideline. Dribbles to the top of the key, inside to the elbow. Shot good from 15.
Well, David Seegers just trying to get something going here for Dowling. What their key is, though, they need to get defensive stops.
The running jumper pulls Dowling College within 11. Here's Spann, one bounces it to Schmidt. Schmidt dribbles inside, uses his body, puts the bucket in, and has a chance for a three-point play.
I'll tell you, Jonathan Schmidt is so strong. You look at his physical ability to be able to take someone on his shoulder and take him right to the basket.
Jonathan Schmidt was held. Wait, was that Jonathan Schmidt was? No, this I don't know. Jonathan Schmidt, I believe, has a ton of points in the ball game as he converts the free throw. It's 14. $17 points for Schmidt in the up to this point. 18:28 remaining as we got the correction. Here is Merchant cross court. Actually, Smith now to Merchant. Double clutch, back out Nandon for 3. His shot is off the mark, and it goes treetop. Last touch by Dowling College. Basketball goes back to CW Post.
They still need to convert. They need to hit a couple threes. They need to get back into this game. They can't let it get any further than this.
The dominant player for CW Post this game has been Jonathan Schmidt with 17. The pass to the outside for Burns. Burks looking, dribbling inside, using his body, gets the bump, and he misses the shot, but he'll go to the line and shoot another couple of free throws.
Well, he's trying to get to say, oh, listen, I'm going to get into the paint on you, and then you're going to have to defend me. Either take the charge or you're going to foul me.
And they fouled. Burks 4 of 4 from the free throw line today. Only 1 of 7 to start from the first half as the free throw goes down. Only 1 of 7 in field goal range for Burks, but he's been breaking down the defense, rotating the ball around, and eventually other teammates are getting the assists for him. Burks, second attempt on the way. It's good. 6-6 from the charity stripe. And as a team, they're 13 of 14 from the line.
Excellent free throw shooting. That's a sign of a good team.
In the front court, Merchant's trapped. His cross quarter is picked off, taken away, and actually the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by CW Post. Nicholas Carter was the last one to touch it. It appears as if Carter had an opportunity to get the ball, but causing a little bit more pressure than usual with Seegers.
And I'll tell you, Nicholas Carter's having a very quiet game, and it's only time till he starts to get his groove on.
And if he gets his groove on, Dowling is in a load of trouble. Nandon, Seegers. Seegers crosses over to the top of the key, pulls up at the foul line, shot long. Rebound, lands, inside, battling his way, and lays it home.
That's what we were saying at halftime. They got to fight the boards on the offensive side. They cannot have one-and-done situations.
And a stoppage of play. There's a foul at the top of the key on David Seegers. Second personal foul on the star for Dowling College. Ball inbounded to Schmidt. Schmidt for CW Post, dribbles to the left, hands it off to the near sideline for Nicholas Carter. He pulls up for three, rolls around the rim, and it's taken by Aliun Jai. Jai to Seegers. Seegers hurrying up the court, dribbling to the left, and there's a foul away from the ball. It's called against Lyndon Daniel. The ball will be inbounded from behind the hoop as Leonard lands, trying to execute the inbound. Gets it to Nandon along the near sideline. Nandon crossing, going to the right wing. Chest pass outside low for three. Shot, side rim, no good. Rebound, loose ball, saved by Post as Burks hustles to the ball. Burks leads Carter into the front court. Carter back to Burks. Burks along the right wing fakes the three from 25. Set dribbles in, crosses over, and backs it back out with 20 to go on the 35 shot clock. Burks dribbling to the elbow, flips back outside to Kevin Spann. Finds Burks along the near baseline, goes in the lane, shot no good. Offensive foul as taking the charge was Nandon.
He was a little bit out of control on that. Burks tried to do a little too much. He tried to dash, he tried to spin, and he really needed to just kick the ball back out.
Another substitution. Leonard Lands is replaced by by Smith in the lineup. So Smith re-enters the lineup for Dowling College, and Nandon handles the basketball past the timeline along the near side. Nandon inside. The shot for the left hand, no good. A miss by Josh Lowe. The outlet for Schmidt. Schmidt in the lane, right-handed, finger rolled, no good, but he'll go to the line for two. And it's on the hole, and two shots coming.
It appeared, I thought they were going to call a goaltending on that, on the smacking of the backboard, but he got away with it.
And Schmidt has shown not only his versatility, but his maneuvers around the hoop, getting to the racket, any cost. First free throw misses, but he's been a real pain for Dowling to handle.
He's a tough kid. He knows how to get into the paint, and he has a scoring mentality. And he could turn on his scoring mentality to his passing mentality just like that. He's an outstanding point guard.
Schmidt's second one is no good as it goes out. The rebound, Seegers. Seegers dribbling into the lane, flips up with the right hand, off bounce, no good. He might have rushed that shot. Back the other way comes CW Post as the dribble drive and the foul assessed as Carter went from the far sideline.
Yep, Nick Carter, he knows how to get to the basket as well. 76% free throw shooter on the season.
And once again, CW Post exploiting the transition defense the other way because they keep on rushing the ball up the court on misses of the free throw line or even misses on field goal attempts as the free throw goes down.
And Nick Carter, for most people don't know, he is the son of the late, great New York Nick, Reggie Carter, who played nearby Long Island Lutheran High School and had a terrific career.
Second one on the way is good. 48-33, 15:58 remaining in the second half. Nandon crosses to the left wing side, now to the top of the key. Chest pass outside, fake by Smith, outside Low, pulls up for three, it's short.
Lowe just can't quite get down that shot today. That's his third one this half. He's missed from the corner.
Spann in control. Spann looking to survey the court, instead finds Schmidt. Jonathan Schmidt dribbling with his left to the right wing side, now heads to the top of the key. Waits with 14 on the timer. Schmidt not being defended that closely by Lowe. That's why there's no 5 seconds. Instead, he stops, pops, and it's long. The rebound goes out of bounds, last touched by Post.
Yeah, they'll tell you, he looked to have a great shot right there. The defense has to come out, and they have to start defending.
Dowling having a problem with CW Post defense this game, 33 points to this point, and about 5 minutes gone by in the second half. Nandon is at the timeline, crosses over to the top of the key beyond the three-point arc, instead rotates around to the right wing side, dribbles left, stops at the wing, fades in, shot, good.
Great move on Keith Nandon. Gets inside the paint. He said, instead of kicking it out, I'm going to take it myself.
Back the other way, and another easy hoop as Nicholas Carter went the coast.
And there you see the athleticism of Nick Carter. He knows how to get up in the air, has the body control to knock it down.
Another transition bucket for CW Post. It's a 16-point lead for the number 2 team in the country. Nandon inside, the pass intended for Jai, and his pass from the floor taken away. Montalvo inside, shot blocked away as Span tried to hit it. Back the other way, Nandon to Seegers. Seegers inside, flips it up, and it was a little bit out of control, and the ball goes out of bounds, last touch by Dowling.
I don't know if he was trying to score off the glass or he was trying to lay it off the glass for Jai coming down the lane.
Either way, it's a turnover, timeout on the floor, 51-35 with 14:11 remaining in regulation time. Welcome back to Recreation Hall in Oakdale, New York, the site, St. John's University campus in Suffolk County. The score between CW Post, the number 2 team in the country, 51, and Dowling College, 35. The inbound goes straight to the front court, and there's another easy opportunity in the paint by Nicholas Carter.
You know, I think I spoke a little too soon. I said Nicholas Carter's been very quiet this game, and since I said that about a minute ago, he scored 6 points.
Nicholas Carter is almost on as much of a run as Anthony Carter was for the Miami Heat back in the day, as the shot no good from Nandon from the left wing side. Loose ball going to Montalvo. Montalvo outside Schmidt, open three, bang!
And just like that, it becomes a 21-point game.
And Schmidt, sooner or later, was going to begin to hit those threes. Nandon crossing the timeline at the top of the key, dribbling right, passing to the outside. Lance dribbling in, shot blocked away by Lyndon Daniel the other way, but the pass was a little bit wild and taken back by Smith. Smith lands, hits the cutter, and then there's an offensive foul as Ilan Howard bowled over the defender.
And the ref saw that coming right from the beginning. That was a terrific stand on CW Post. Good call.
Coming back into the game, one of the bigs, James Chana, who had much playing time in the first half for CW Post, and it appears as if John Merchant also has checked back in to try to boost the offense a little bit. Montalvo outside to Schmidt near the timeline. Schmidt waiting with 24 on the timer, 12:58 on the game clock. Schmidt drives it in, shot, good.
And as you see the court sense of Jonathan Schmidt, read the backdoor cut, hit him with a perfect seed.
Schmidt not only has been scoring at will against this Dowling club, but now he's distributing the basketball equally as well. It's a 23-point deficit for Dowling College. Merchant outside Seegers. Seegers crosses, and the pass is taken away by Span. Span dribbling with his left to the top of the key in the front court, driving left, flips it up with the left, and it's good.
And it looks like CW Post is on, what, 11-0 run right about now.
And Post has opened this lead up from 14 to what it is now at 25 Seegers has to do something with the basketball. He drives in the lane, shot off the backboard, good, plus the foul. It ends the run for CW Post.
And Dowling is just looking for something right now, something to build on, something that they could start to go get a little run going.
Aliyun Jai and Nandin enter for Howard and Lands. Dowling has had a major struggle offensively in this game. 37 points through the first 27 minutes and 54 seconds. And Seegers trying to cut the lead to 22 at the free throw line. Free throw's no good, so Seegers misses, and outletting it is CW Post's Carter. Comes along the far sideline to Montalvo. Montalvo backs it out and then crosses to his left hand. The jump pass outside for Burks. Span Burks. Again, actually, it's Carter. Carter at the top of the key and waits with 14 to go on the timer. Carter looks, dribbling right, crossing to his left, going to Chana. Taking the screen from Chana, and there's a foul on the inside as Carter was bumped.
I'll tell you, Carter really knows how to get inside the paint. He's difficult to stop.
11:39 remaining in the second half, 60-37 in favor of CW Post. 17 fouls for Dowling already, and that leads to the 1-and-1 situation coming up.
And they've only missed 2 free throws on the game so far, 15 for 17 from the line.
First one coming from Carter, it's good. The best teams in the country, what they always manage to do is they manage to play very good defense. They have an effective offense, and most importantly, they knock down the free throws when they need to.
And what they're doing today is they're just wearing down the Golden Lions team. You know, they're getting some good looks, but little by little against a real good team, before you know it, it's 12 points, and then before you know it, it's 26-point game.
With the basketball, Smith hits Jai on the cut, and his shot rolls around and falls out. The loose ball taken by Montalvo. Montalvo rushes it back up. No breaks going for Dowling today. As the pass goes right into the hands of Jai, back to Nandin. Nandin dribbling to the lane, and his attempted dribble gets stripped away. Back the other way, the shot no good from Burks, but he'll go to the line again to at least shoot a free throw.
Yeah, it looked like Nick Carter was a little upset. He had him wide open on the left-hand side, and Burks decided to try to take it himself. And
the referee is saying it was on the shot, so Burks has 2 opportunities at the free throw line as Lands is about to check in for Sean Smith. First free throw misses.
And that's Smith's 4th personal foul.
Dowling has struggled all day. It's not only with the personal fouls, the defense, but understand, this CW Post team, there's a reason why they're number 2, why they're undefeated as the free throw does not go down. 2 misses from Burks, back the other way, Seegers. Outside, Smith pulls up 3, good! If Dowling is to get back into the game, 3-pointers are the way to go. Montalvo, outside spin move to Nicholas Carter, shot in the lane and doesn't count.
No basket. He got him on the push.
That was really close though to becoming an and one. But either way, Carter goes to the line to shoot 1 free throw, and if he hits it, he'll have an additional 1. 61-40 in favor of CW Post from Recreation Hall in St. John's University. First free throw is good. Nicholas Carter, 6'2" senior guard at Huntington Station, New York, and he was quiet for much of the game, but has suddenly exploded in the second half.
Yeah, you can only hold a guy like that so long.
Especially considering that they have 5 double-figure scorers. So they're going to work their way to that figure at some point. It's only the law of averages as the second free throw went down. Nandin to Smith. Pulls up for 3. No good. Side rim as he thought he was feeling it. The loose ball inbounded to Sean Smith and saved. Aliyun Jai. Cross-court Nandin. 1 dribble. Pass for 3. Off the mark. The rebound. Jai puts it in on the offensive rebound.
That's a good tip in right there. Being at the right place at the right time. Dowling's trying to find something with 10 minutes left to go to make this game respectable.
Montalvo rushes to the key and then backs it out to Schmidt, who handles once again for CW Post. The crossover to the left wing, taking the pick from Chana, and there is a blocking foul as Seegers tried to establish position underneath.
And a questionable call there. It looked like he had his both feet down, both feet were set, and it looked like it should have been a charge.
Schmidt heads to the free throw line. He missed 2 free throws in his last series. He's looking to gain a little bit of confidence at the charity stripe, and he misses again. At some point, if you start missing free throws at this rate, does it get to your head?
It does. You start to think about your next one. It's it's like a baseball player up at the plate. You're on your little streak and you're not getting a few hits. You start to wonder, when will I make the next one? What am I doing wrong? And sometimes it's more just mental than physical.
Schmidt hits the second one to extend the lead back to 22. Jai driving the lane, and he's hacked on his way up.
The one thing about this Dowling team is they're not giving up. They keep fighting every possession. The bench is still staying alive. The players are still trying to get to the basket. Steve Hain is still coaching. They're not giving up, and that's a sign of why they're a very successful team this year.
Montalvo commits the foul, but as you mentioned, very successful team, 5-2 coming into the East Coast Conference. And they're making a trail. They won 3 games in a row. They started 3-9. Not a promising start, but they made ground. They made up ground. They're now 7-9. Okay. Well, 4-9. Pardon me. Now they're 7-9. 3 games in a row. And if they had won this game, this was the litmus test. And they're trying really hard as Jai misses 2 consecutive free throws. That ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Dowling, but if CW Post is in fact the cream of the crop for this league, they're definitely showing it in this contest today against one of the best in the ECC.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to approach the second half of the season and where teams start to step up. You got to win in February is what we always said. And right now you have CW Post and then you have everybody else.
Burks outside to Schmidt, being double teamed by Seegers on his blind side. Instead goes inside and the ball's taken away. Nandon leads a fast break. Seegers inside. Jai with the slam! Aliun Jai with the dunk, and that could spark the defense for Dowling to possibly get back in this game.
And that's what Dowling needed. Something to say, hey, we're alive here still. You know, we're not rolling over. Come on and let's play some ball.
Carter outside for Burks. Behind the back dribble, goes to the timeline. Cross over to the right, hands it off into Carter. Carter loses the dribble at the right elbow, pulls up instead, shot long, and the loose ball taken by Jai. He muscles the loose ball away and outlets it to Seegers. Seegers crosses over, pressured, outside Nandon, dribbles inside, flips it up, teardrop, good! From the far baseline!
And the place is starting to erupt. Aliun Jai's dunk woke this crowd up with 8:30 left to go.
Timeout, Tim Cluis and CW Post with 8:38 remaining in regulation time. 64-46, but Dowling College is on a 6-0 run. Welcome back to St. John's University, as Aliun Jai might have just woken up not only his teammates but the crowd with a thunderous jam, a 6-0 spurt for Dowling College, a 64-46 lead for CW Post, however. this has got to be a critical moment in the game if Dowling is to make a comeback in this contest.
And you know what? It's not even about this game right now. Dowling needs to make a statement to say, hey, we belong with the big guys. Whether we come up on the short end of the stick tonight, we got to prepare and get better for the rest of this year.
Montalvo past the timeline for post. One bounce to Schmidt. Schmidt drives baseline, feeds it back outside left wing, pull up for three. No good off the mark, rebound Schmidt. Beautiful, and then it's taken away, taken by Merchant. Merchant outside, and it's taken away back by Schmidt. The other way, Montalvo. Montalvo leads Burks, and there's a traveling violation before his pass.
Well, CW Post is trying to give the exclamation point right here, and Dowling's not allowing it.
CW Post getting a little bit cute on the offensive end. Dowling has to make sure that they get offensive possessions and then defensive stops. They can't afford to trade hoops.
Yep.
Nandon, far baseline, inside, goes away from Jai. Last touched by Nandon on the pass.
They were trying to get a little too patient with that. They got to start to put up some shots here.
And it appears that a little bit of pressure being applied as Schmidt outlets to his teammate Burks, who regathers near the timeline. Chest pass to Montalvo. Gilbert Montalvo on the left wing side finds Span, who crosses over and then backs it out along the left wing. Span dribbling with his left with 14 to go on the timer. 7:35 remaining in the regulation time. Span finds the screen on Montalvo. Montalvo in the lane, shot blocked away by Aliun Jai. Nandon leads Seegers all the way. Slam!
And here comes Dowling. It's amazing what the slam dunk has done to this game today. People love the entertainment.
And this will entertain the crowd, and chance of defense from the crowd at Dowling and the bench as well. Burks along the left wing side fires to Schmidt. Schmidt looks, takes the screen from Daniel, drives in, spins, and travels with the basketball.
And what went from a 27-point game just a few minutes ago, we're at 16 points with still 7 minutes left to go.
And Lance takes a breather as replacing him is Smith. The inbound goes from Seegers to Smith, back to Seegers, and now to Nandon. Nandon crosses the timeline, is in the front court near the timeline, crosses to the top of the key, finds Smith, wide open three, good! John Smith! John Merchant from downtown! And the lead's been cut to 13. The drive inside, it's good! Critical shot and drive from Kevin Span.
Comes right back with an answer. And that's what Post loves to do. They love to answer everything.
It's back to a 15-point lead. Nandon, outside lead for Smith. Inside Seegers, pulls up, goal!
I'll tell you, Dowling College right now is starting to feel it. They're getting their looks. This is what they wanted to do in the first half.
Span rushing it back up the court, and finally resettling is Burks. One bounce to Schmidt. Schmidt's turned the ball over the last couple of times he's handled it, facing pressure from Seegers, drives in, flip shot, partially blocked, and it still goes in!
And he gets it over the long stretch arms of Aliun Jai. What a great move by Jonathan Schmidt.
What an unfortunate set of circumstances by Aliun Jai. He got a piece of the ball, but it still went in from Schmidt. Double technical, as there's a little bit of tension in this game. Dowling has made this interesting at 15, Scott.
And I'll tell you, I think coaches are not happy. Tim Kluse is not happy with the call. He feels that Aliun Jai was the one that caused the whole thing, so his guys shouldn't be penalized for it.
Dowling still has possession on the nullification technical fouls, but each of them is assessed with a personal. In college basketball, a technical foul also equals a personal foul.
Yep, that's correct.
Nandon crossing over to his right hand, switching to his left, being defended by Burks, getting into the lane, feeds it on inside shot, blocked, but inside foul as Howard was trying to get the shot up.
There was no way they were letting that dunk go down. No matter what they were going to do there, they were taking the crowd out of it and just drew the foul.
Heading to the charity stripe is Elon Howard. Howard, this season, coming into this game, was 6 of 21. And now he's 2 of 3 today with that conversion. Another substitution, Lyndon Daniel out. Replacing him is James Chana. Second attempt on the way. It rattles around and goes down.
And we got a 13-point game here. 5 minutes left. We have a chance to really make a statement here. We got to get a defensive stop.
Dowling crawling back like an insect, looking to sting CW Post at their home court. Dribble drive inside. Bank shot is good.
Here's where he's at his best. Nicholas Carter, you can't let him penetrate on you.
Nicholas Carter continues to put Dowling in a bit of a fit as the ball goes from Nandon to Merchant. Outside to Nandon along the right wing side. Nandon takes the screen and instead fends off of Howard. Back outside to Merchant. Merchant for three. No good. It rolls around the rim and the loose ball is taken by Span. With 5 minutes remaining in regulation time. 15-point lead. Back the other way. Span in the lane. Shot rolls around, no good. But he'll have 2 free throws coming up.
And they continue to get inside the paint. We got to learn to stop penetration. Be able to stop them outside the lane.
And it is the 4th personal foul
on Keith Nandon.
On Keith Nandon, I believe. That is a major concern for Coach Hain. What will he do? First free throw is good.
Well, at this point, you got to leave your point guard in the game. 4:57 left. You're still down 16 points. You need your point guard in the game.
Carter for the second of 2 free throws. Sets. Fires. In. 72-55. CW Post ahead of Dowling College. David Seegers trying to manipulate his way past the timeline, does so. Crosses to his left hand, gets into the lane, flip shot, layup, good!
That's a great penetration on Seegers. He's feeling the confidence right now. Dowling needs another defensive stop. It's a game of defensive stops now.
Kevin Span dribbles to the near baseline, and he's pushed by Nandon.
And that's going to do it for Keith Nandon.
Nandon has struggled a decent part of this game, getting open shots and converting those opportunities. And it was a great effort game by Nandon. He tried so valiantly to get back into the contest, but it's just an impossible matchup against Kevin Span, who's mighty quick, almost like Spider-Man.
And Steve Hain's going to take a few minutes, take the few seconds that he's entitled to when someone fouls out of the game, and it appears that Josh Lowe will be coming back into the game.
If the Dowling Golden Lions want to come back in this contest, Josh Lowe needs to regain his legs the way he did early in the game and convert those three-pointers, because right now they're exchanging hoop for free throws, and that's not going to go unless CW Post starts missing them.
And they've been shooting very good as of today.
They're an unbelievable free throw shooting team.
Yep.
They're probably better than some NBA clubs at this point. Most NBA clubs. Span at the line. First free throw swished down. 73-57. 4:31 remaining in regulation time. Alioune Jai is about to check in for Dowling College as Span's free throw is through. 2 free throws, and this is basically the story of the game for CW Post. Almost every opportunity that they've had at the free throw line, they've been able to convert and push the lead further when Dowling tries to make a run. Here's Smith past the timeline, dribbling left, firing right. Merchant for 3. It's long. Loose ball taken and grabbed by Nicholas Carter. In transition the other way, dribbling right, firing to Schmidt. Wide open 3. It's good!
And Schmidt continues to damage the Golden Lions.
Jonathan Schmidt probably put the game away with that three-pointer. It's a 20-point lead. And there is Offensive foul on Leonard Lance for an illegal screen. The ball goes right back to CW Post. 3:58 remaining on the second half clock as Kenny Burks leaves it off for Kevin Spann, who takes his time getting to the timeline into the front court. Spann waits for the shot clock as he's being defended by Josh Lowe. Spann going to his right, handing it to his left for Nicholas Carter. Back to Burks inside Spann, and there's a foul on the play as he dribbled along the far baseline.
Well, if you take a look at the East Coast Conference now, it becomes a wide open field. You have CW Post who's leading everything. And then who wants that second, third, and fourth slot? Because that's what everyone's playing for. Everyone's playing for that home field advantage when you get to the playoffs. Is it Adelphi? Is it Dowling? Is it Bridgeport? Any one of those teams. And when you get to February, you start to see them change back and forth. And sometimes it comes right down to the last day.
Lands replaces Lowe, but as you mentioned, CW Post, no question, in the driver's seat, about to go 8-0 in East Coast Conference play. That second place, though, you also want to avoid having to play CW Post maybe in the second round of action in the East Coast Conference tournament. So getting the 2 or the 3 seed might be viable for Dowling at this point. As Seegers drives the lane, his pass poked away, and there is a timeout on the floor taken, and we'll step aside. 3:21 remaining in the second half. CW Post leads by 20 on ECCSports.tv. St. John's University campus, the site in Oakdale, New York. I am Perry Miles, joined alongside by Scott Green. CW Post has a 20-point lead with 3:21 remaining in the second half. They came in here and took care of business.
Yeah, and it was a game of runs. And when you're a fast-paced team like CW Post, you score quickly, the lead builds quickly, and unfortunately, Dowling did not give up in this game, and they showed some good signs, but just a little bit outclassed tonight.
Schmidt outside to the left wing for 3. It's good!
Now that's a big-time move right there. To be able in this game, in the Division II level, to be able to drive, drop back, step behind the three-point line, and shoot in someone's face, that's a major college shot.
That was a fadeaway 3 by Nicholas Carter, and another steal by CW Post as Spann ends up with the basketball. Spann to Schmidt with 2:38 remaining in the second half as Dowling College appears to be heading to their 10th loss of the season, 5-3 in the East Coast Conference. Meanwhile, CW Post going to 14-0, 8-0 within the conference.
Yeah, they're really playing excellent basketball. They're really an enjoyment to watch. And you know, it's great for this league, and it's great for the conference, and of having a team, nationally ranked, and it's great for recruiting within the conference.
And if Montalvo misses the shot, they're always there to grab the rebounds. They have extra adhesives on the court to bandage up whatever mistakes they might make.
Absolutely.
With 2:10 remaining in the second half, 80-57 in favor of CW Post. The number 1 team in the land, Findlay College in Ohio, the only other undefeated club in all of college basketball's Division II league. And by the way, those 2 colleges are the only 2 undefeateds in major Division II college basketball. Because if you look in Division I, no one is undefeated because Wake Forest just lost this past week.
Right, that's correct. And we were told earlier that Findlay, Ohio lost to Xavier by just a few points.
Right. They're in competition with one of the top-ranked clubs in the country. and they've certainly shown their competence today, how well they've performed away from CW Post in a hostile environment, Dowling College.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that CW Post has done well at tonight is getting to the free throw line. They have now taken 33 free throws on the evening. They've shot 73% from the line. They're 24 for 33 from the foul line. And they're shooting 24 for 49 from the floor. That's a 49%. That's a nice solid number for the players. Jonathan Schmidt tonight so far leads all scorers with 26 points. Nicholas Carter, who we said earlier was having a slow night, and I think I mentioned that, and I think I jump-started his evening. And after I mentioned that, he went on about 12 more points. And you look at what he's done. He's 7 for 8 from the foul line. He's got 19 points at his season average.
Did you give him a Red Bull at the 17-minute mark?
I must have said something to him, or he heard me as he ran by the sideline.
But in spite of your best efforts to analyze what was happening, he wound up exploding in the second half, and it led to the casualties of the Dowling College basketball team.
Sure, and we talk about their balanced scoring, double-figure scoring. Nicholas Carter, double figures. Jonathan Schmidt, double figures. Kevin Spann, double figures. Burks is at 8 points. So, you got these guys that are right there. Lyndon Daniel is only at 3 points. So they've done a pretty good job on the big guy.
And another foul as going up with the basketball was Nicholas Carter. I'm shocked that CW Post, I'm just wondering, you're the head coach of CW Post. Would it be viable to take out your top players now to rest your top players for the next game, which will be just as critical to keep your undefeated streak alive?
Well, I think at this point you start subbing little by little. It's never good to bring in a whole group of 5 in one shot. You start subbing them in little by little. You're going to need to get your team used to playing with a lead. You're going to have to get them used to playing with 2 minutes down the stretch, and they still need the conditioning, and they're going to need to still continue to make free throws.
Their next game is against Adelphi College, a team that you had recently covered, and CW Post would be looking to extend their winning streak this season to 15 games after finishing last year with one of the most impressive marks in Division II at 25-5.
Absolutely, they did have a terrific season last year, and I think they have a good matchup with Adelphi. Adelphi, I don't think they're going to be able to stay with their guards, but I think Adelphi could play a pretty good game with them.
Meanwhile, first free throws connected with Dowling. It's their third loss in conference play, but they came out with some guts to this afternoon. No question about it. They hustled the basketball. It's just CW Post is the number 2 team in the country.
And I think Steve Haynes is going to take out of this game not just a loss, but I think they're going to take some positives out of it. And it's got to be a learning experience. If you're going to want to play with the best in this conference, you're going to have to be a better offensive rebounding team. You can't have these 1-and-outs all the time. You got to do a better job defensively. You got to stop penetration. You got to help side defense. And I think that if they're going to look at something and they're going to get better, and which they are, they haven't peaked yet. That's something they're going to need to work on.
Demir Hamza making his first appearance of the contest. It's his first appearance in quite a while as Seegers gets doubled. Back outside Hamza. He pulls up for 3. It's good! Demir Hamza from downtown. He gets some playing time. Maybe they should have gotten to him early.
Well, sometimes in games like this is where you learn to find new identities.
As the dribble drive in the lane, shot no good. The rebound Seegers. Back the other way comes Dowling to Hamza. Fakes the 3, dribbles in, loses control, gets it to Jai, and he's hacked as there's a reach-in foul against Chana. But I see Dowling improving from this game because the ECC is a very viable conference this season. And a game like this against one of the top teams can only make you stronger.
Absolutely. But you got to look at teams like Bridgeport. And a team like Bridgeport who lost to CW Post by 9 points. So what did they do that was so different in the competition than Dowling's doing today?
I mean, if you look at their upcoming schedule for the Golden Lions, they faced off a road game against Queens, and I was just calling NYIT's game as the free throw's no good. I was just calling NYIT's game against Queens as there's a foul on a over the back or a hack on the bump by Lance. But I watched NYIT face Queens, and they have some okay players, but it's certainly a winnable game.
Oh, sure.
CW Post is the cream of the crop. Queens is more, maybe not in the middle of the pack, but certainly in the lower end of the pack, so they could squeeze out a victory there.
Yeah, Queens is not a bad team. They're very well coached. They have some excellent players. In fact, last year, Dowling had to beat Queens in the last game of the season to get into the playoffs.
Free throw goes down. So 1 of 2 as the free throw was, the first one was missed with 1:15 remaining in regulation. Seegers along the right wing trying to get hit, lands, but his pass is intercepted, and back with the basketball is Burks. Burks one bounces to Schmidt in the front court, hits Carter, who just is trying to elude the defenders and run out the clock. Carter to Burks. Burks is fouled with 53.3 seconds remain in the second half. 84-60 in favor of CW Post. I wonder what Findlay is doing today, if they're in fact playing. If Findlay loses, CW Post would catapult themselves to the number 1 ranking in the country as the free throw goes down, and would be the only undefeated team in both Division 1 Single A and Double A. Division 2, pardon me.
That would be a nice feat to have, but Tim Cluse knows that all it takes is one loss. They know that they got to keep getting better. They're not looking at this as a local game. They're looking at it as a national game. They're playing to get to the national championship this year, and that is Tim Cluse's focus.
And they appear as if they have the talent to possibly make a run for that. Hansa outside to the right wing. Smith. Merchant now to Lance. Lance dribble drive with 39 to go. Shot off the side of the backboard. No good. And the loose ball taken by CW Post. Outside three-pointer is good. So another three-pointer from the outside. It's taken by Stephen Mears, who's making his first entry of the contest. Mears, a 6'2 junior guard out of Middle Island, New York. The ball goes inside. Aliyun Jai banks it, no good. And the loose ball taken by CW Post on the rebound. The outlet is taken away by Seegers with 4 to go. The layup is good on the other end by Merchant, but it's too little too late. The final score from St. John's University campus in Oakdale, New York. 88 for CW Post, 62 for Dowling College. This was an impressive performance by CW Post on the road with News 12 Long Island here, Newsday here. The word is going to get out that this team is a formidable number 2 ranked opponent.
And as you said before, Findlay and some of the other top-ranked teams in the country are watching every score. And being a ranking, let's face it, rankings are really for the entertainment of the public, and to say who's the best at that current time. Not who's the best team for the season, who's the best at that current time. Right now, CW Post is the second best team in the country. They fell 2 points short of their season average, their offensive number 1 ranking, not just at this level, but at a national level, and here's the reason why.
I would think that based on based on an observation from an outsider who's not been in the coaching ranks like myself, Dowling played very good defense, especially in the first half, holding shooting percentage to 42% for a period of time, and holding a team like CW Post to under 100, even under 90 at this point, I think is something that they should look forward to, that they should say, hey, look, we held a team that was scoring 100 points to that low mark. That's just what I would think. I don't know about you, but that's what I would think.
Yeah, you're going to take a lot of good things out of this. I think you're going to look at it and say, this is what we need to work on. This is what we need to get better. We tried this against the top-rated team. Now we have to go forward. We got to put this beside us. We got to prepare for Queens, and we got to get back on the road again.
He is Scott Green. I am Perry Miles. Thank you for tuning in to Dowling College Basketball. Stay tuned for more Penn Atlantic games on ECCSports.tv.